Okay, I know the title says top 5, but today I'm going to be going over the top 7 most terrifying Backrooms levels in existence. Let's get into it. 7th on my list is level 444. This level is classified as class 5, meaning that it's unsafe and unsecure and has an entity infestation. The wiki.dot literally says directly on the website that it's one of the most difficult levels to travel through, so I think it deserves to be on this list. Level 444 is considered very unstable because it structurally changes every 47 to 57 minutes. This massive shift is called a post-shift event, and they cause the paths to be completely different than they were before, and the structure seems to be built randomly every time. Some of the rooms are disorienting because they've got no pattern in design, and they don't make any sense to a normal person. These shifts sometimes cause similar objects to appear on this level that are found on other levels, like sometimes the wallpaper on this level will change to the same yellow wallpaper from level 0, or the floor will change to the same pattern as the floor on level 389. On top of the disorienting shifts, this level is dangerously infested with death moths, hounds, skin stealers, smilers, crawlers, and death rats. During some very rare shifts, random items from entities from other levels will appear here, like a skull of the thing on level 7, or the paper crown of the king, or even a partygoer's hat will sometimes randomly appear during a shift. Other than these random appearing items, the level has literally no supplies at all, like none. No food, water, radio, nothing like that. During these shifts, the lights will go off instantly, and all flashlights will stop working. And while the lights are off, the layout and the objects of level 444 will completely change in about 10 to 15 seconds. When the lights turn back on, it will reveal tons of new creatures and a new layout. Nice. To enter this level, for some reason I won't understand, just walk through a door that is slightly damaged on level 1, and to leave you have to find a wooden floor to stand on. It doesn't matter what kind of wood, just that it's wood, and a wooden floor appears every 7 out of 14 shifts on this level, so be ready to find one when that happens. Once you get to a wood floor, you'll be sent to the lounge on level 176. So yeah, a level that completely shifts and changes layout every 47 to 57 minutes, and has an infestation of hostile entities. It's pretty scary to me. So 6th is level 389, which is classified as a class undetermined because it's not really understood yet. This level is a huge collection of rooms filled with seemingly random things and decorations. The walls across this level change without any warning, and the main thing about this level is that there are weird games that the game master controls. Now, I talked about her in my Backrooms Creatures Explained video, but if you didn't watch that, the game master is a relatively passive entity who loves to play and cheat at the games on this level. She can actually control the games as well. Through the entire level, there are actually these random games like puzzles and other games that have these weird changes from the real life games that make them just strange. Like Monopoly, but instead of using dollars, it uses pesos. And like Call of Duty is open on some laptops down there, but when you get shot at in the game, the bullets actually come to the screen at you, and just a bunch more disturbing games like that. Like there's also an Operation game, but it uses real flesh, so, I mean, that's weird. The only way to leave this level is to beat the game master at one of her games, or you can call her out if you catch her cheating, and then she's forced to release you. Only one person is allowed on this level at a time, which is kinda lame, because who are you gonna play the games with then? To enter, you can find a checkered door on many levels, labeled level 389, but sometimes people just randomly get sent to this level because they've been chosen, but it's unsure how that works. So yeah, just a massive level with changing walls and a game master that can control everything about the level. Not creepy at all, right? 5th is level 8, which is classified as class 5, unsafe, unsecure, and is infested with creatures. This level is an infinite cave system with caverns and chasms and cliffs everywhere. It's very damp, and there's almond water that runs down the walls and drips from the ceiling, and there are stalactites and stalagmites as well. The sound echoes really loudly on this level, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. Like, it can alert you that a creature is near, or it can make you more noticeable to the creatures there. And there's no natural light on this level, just there's these random spots in the cave walls that emit like a really soft bluish white light. Natural vegetation is really rare on this level, but in some spots there are vines and bushes, and sometimes there are pools of standing almond water. However, this almond water isn't safe to drink because there's an excess amount of minerals in it. There are also some pools filled with a tar-like substance that if you walk in, hands covered with tar will reach out of it and attempt to grab you and drag you to your demise. That's creepy. So for any miners watching, there are actually gold and iron ore deposits on this level, so don't forget to bring the pickaxe. The creatures here are very dangerous and are typically ones like smilers, skin stealers, wretches, facelings, hounds, death rats, clumps, reviooks, and wranglers, but there are also some more not so common creatures like camo crawlers, transporters, blossoming eyes, and watchers. And some of those creatures will be in my next Backrooms creatures video, so I won't get into their description here. Level 8 also has its own creature as well. It's called the arachnids of level 8, and these are huge spiders that are really poisonous, so that's not fun at all. There's actually an outpost here, and it's called the Meg Cave Raiders. It's got 54 members right now, and there actually used to be another town here called the town of Cavergost or something like that. It had an unknown humanoid species that populated it, and there were 78 members. They lived deep in this remote area of the level. They had crude weapons that were made from like an unknown ore, and they weren't really welcoming to humans, but their leader was. However, this civilization just seemingly disappeared without a trace, leaving its outpost walls empty. To enter this level, just find a cave entrance on level 7, and you can exit by randomly falling through the floor to get taken to level 9. There are other exits as well, but they aren't really advised. But this one is a really scary level just because, more so its physical layout, it's just an infinite dark cave with caverns and dangerous creatures everywhere. Like, that's terrifying to me, especially since I'm not a big fan of heights. Fourth is level -988, which is classified as class contested non-human. This level is unsecure and has entity superiority and has unsafe conditions for human life. So this one's really weird, so just buckle up. This level is different from every other level on the Backrooms, and it's actually because it might not be a level at all, because it might be an alternate reality. The level seems to be created by Entity 100, who is actually the one that classified it as an alternate reality. It seems to be its own world. It has countries and cities and continents, but only one country has been documented, and this country is an abandoned landscape with railroad tracks and factories everywhere. There have been 15 cities documented, and they're all deserted as well. Most buildings on this level are overgrown with purplish reddish leaves, and there's also grass all over this level, and it's green just like Earth's. But the trees, although they're similar to Earth's, they're duller. The water here is all boiling, so it's not safe to drink instantly, but it does have the same color as real life water. And the sky is a dull and calming sunset with purple and red clouds everywhere. There are actually two main factories on this level that were operational until recently. One was called Core 1 and the other one was called Core 2. So Core 1 exploded and it released a toxic gas through the country, which made it uninhabitable for humans. And Core 2 is still actually operational, but there's no humans running it, it's just robots being controlled by humans. It seems to be constantly on the verge of exploding though, and the robots that are controlled by humans are always trying to contain this explosion. The entities found here are Whisperers and Crypts, and the Crypts actually have their own outpost here with an unknown number that live there. The only way to enter this level is to have Entity 100 take you, and the same goes for leaving. You have to get him to take you out, but there's actually some speculated exits scattered throughout this level, but that's unconfirmed as well. This one's crazy. I mean, it's legitimately just a different reality, but it's like an apocalyptic nuclear destroyed zone with no humans, just robots and this mysterious Entity 100. It's pretty scary to me. So third is level 74, which is classified as a mental hazard and is unsafe and unsecure. The level itself is a huge stage with a bunch of interlapping labyrinth-like hallways behind it, and there are 20 rows of seats and an exit door every 5 rows. The hallways behind the stage are extremely expansive, and they've got popcorn machines and posters on the walls, and these posters actually have random Backrooms levels drawn on them, and some of the levels on them are actually unknown, so that's pretty cool. The snaking hallways also have stairwells, 4-point intersections, and elevators within them, making it really easy to get lost back there. So when you first enter this level, the seats at the theater will be completely full with these humanoids that look like people you've actually met in real life, and they can range from family members to random people you've passed on the street. However, they've got simplified facial expressions and they constantly are looking at the stage. The actual stage itself will be filled with mysterious people that are wearing white masks, and they dance in these weird, mysterious patterns, and they're speculated to represent the dreams you've had, but this is unconfirmed. The longer you stay in level 74, the more dangerous it becomes. Like I said earlier, it's classified as a mental hazard. After about 2 hours of being on this level, all the people in the crowd will just vanish, and all the noise from the crowd and the stage will just stop. And this sudden stop of noise will disorient you pretty bad. From here, your sanity will start falling extremely fast, the fastest out of any level on the Backrooms. And you'll start to feel like you're constantly being watched, and quiet ambient noises will be heard from behind the walls, but you can't see anything, just these quiet noises. This will drive you insanely paranoid, thinking you're being watched. At this point, your sanity is almost beyond saving. Not even almond water will reverse the effects. And drinking almond water in this level can actually cause you to build an immunity to it, meaning that if you escape the level, it will actually be less effective on other levels as well. If you don't escape, the walls of the theater will start to close in and the seat rows will extend out to an infinite length. And the ambient sounds from earlier will get unbearably loud, and creatures will start to appear in your peripheral vision for a split seconds at a time, driving you insane. Nice. To enter this level, just walk through the red door on level 117. The only way to leave this level is to exit through the trapdoors on stage, but you can't do this until exactly 2 hours after you enter. That's terrifying. This level is actually extremely terrifying to me for some reason. Just the fact that the level purposely starts to slowly make you paranoid to the point of driving you completely insane, that's just creepy to me. So second on the list is level 1.5. This is an unclassified level with mysterious properties, unknown information, and an undocumented number of entities. This level seems to be inverted completely. It appears to be an in-between kind of thing. It's also easy to enter, but pretty much impossible to leave. There's been one main explorer who described this level when they mistakenly got stuck there. He sent several logs to Meg. This level seems to warp reality in a way that can sometimes mess up the communications. The last log to surface was from July 30th, 2019, where the explorer spoke of some sort of female figure who he only referred to as she. And in this log, he was encouraging people to come to level 1.5, even though in every other log, he strongly told people to never come here. That's creepy. Level 1.5 is home to the denizens, which are those creatures that are always whispering something and begging for an explorer to come to them. That's not creepy at all. Not much is actually known about this level, other than it seems to be broken and backwards, and black and white, with a fluorescent darkness that comes from the roof. There's no sound at all on this level, no buzzing like the other levels, there's just whispering from the denizens. Some of the recorded phrases from the denizens are, "she come, won't go, let go," which could mean she won't let go, come back, and this might be an attempt for the denizens to lure the explorer deeper into the level. So pretty much this level is an inverted, distorted level with a black light that has no sound except the whispers of a formless creature that you can't see. That's terrifying. Oh yeah, and there's also no escape pretty much, except the rare no clip through the wall. The last known contact with the main explorer was when he said that he thought the core of this level was behind the door in this picture. And since this image, there's not been any contact from him. So, nice. And last on this list, at the number 1 spot, is level 200, which is first because of simply how uneasy it makes me feel. The description on the Wikidot says that it's a class 0, which is safe and secure, but I don't think that's the case. Spoiler, it's not the case. The description of this level is written from the perspective of a towns member, and I'm just going to read the whole thing because you got to understand it all to get how creepy this is. So a brief synopsis before I read it. This level is trying to lure you into staying in this small town with a promise that is completely normal, but here's the entire wiki. Level 200 is home. It was discovered on... Nah, there's no point in doing this here. It's always been around, even if you just arrived. Sit down, there's lots to talk about. Level 200 is the nicest little town you've ever come across. It's not too big, and it definitely doesn't stand out. There's people here. People just like you and me. About 4,000. You'll know them all eventually, every single one of them. They're nice enough to overlook that smell of burning rust in your ears, or the faint sound of breaking of skin coming from the sky. You've been traveling, haven't you? We can tell. You look exhausted, clothes torn, barely fed, skin still on. It's not easy exploring these parts, isn't it? Let's take a walk. There's old Joe V, still running that breakfast place, serving the same people day in and day out. Been doing it for 60 years. Remember going there before school? On those days with the bleak blue sky and cold air that chapped your lips? You remember, right? He's been holding that soup bowl for 30 days. It's starting to fall apart. There's the school. With enough time, it could be your school, just the way you remember it. Remember that year when you went to space camp in the science lab and you met Sarah Palmer? Remember how she dared you to go into the basement alone? and you did it because you were 10 and stupid, and she was the first girl you ever noticed? Remember how dark and cold it was down there? If you didn't know any better, you might have believed that you were falling apart down there. And we knew what you wanted from the second you stepped foot in here. Keep that rod at bay. Just how you remember, whatever you want, all the time, you're in control here. All we need is for you to remember. So stay with us. Stay. Look behind you. Everyone's here. Entrances and exits. Why would you care about that? So, yeah, that's the end, and that is what I call terrifying. This level is literally trying to trap you living here by telling you that you can make it whatever you want, even though it's literally a fake reality pretty much. That is literally so mind-boggling to me and just terrifying. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video of the top 7 most terrifying Backrooms levels. If you have any levels that you wish were in the video, go ahead and comment them down below and tell me why. Thank you for watching, thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next video.